What it do? It's DOA niggas back with another episode of Putting It Together. Today, man, we gonna discuss a topic of the Black Panther movie. Recently, they announced the new actor that was gonna replace Chadwick Boseman in the Black Panther Marvel series, and his name is David Johnson. Johnson without a H and two S's. So you already know this is not, they try, and that's what gets me, man. Like, if you just heard David Johnson, you might think, like, oh man, they casted a black American in there. Nigga, this ain't no black American, bruh. This is African. This is another tether. They pulling that tether move once again, that Idris Elba on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to drop some knowledge on y'all today that I literally haven't heard anybody else drop on YouTube, social media, etc. So, man, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and pound that like button. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and share this as well. Cause we about to put some shit together for y'all right now, right here today on the platform, man. And a lot of y'all ain't been showing love with them likes like y'all supposed to, man. League of Shadows supposed to stand up, bruh. League of Shadows gotta represent. Y'all know they gonna try to bury this information. So if you don't do your part, then you know I'm just talking to the wall, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But man, do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Let's run it up. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, see, we can see right here on the screen, we got David Johnson with the no H and two S's about to replace Prince T'Challa. T'Challa being an interesting name in itself anyway, but we're going to get to that in a second. We're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes of the situation right here. Um, Let me get this out the way. Okay, we're going to get into it. Now, the Black Panther itself, the panther itself is an American animal. You can see I asked Google, are panthers an American animal? It says yes, panthers are an American animal, specifically referring to the Florida panther, which is a population of cougars found in South Florida. They are the only confirmed cougar population in the eastern United States. So we already see that this is an American animal. The panther itself is an American animal. You see what I'm saying? They are found in other places in the United States as well, but they mentioned Florida. We all know the Florida Panthers. I think that's an NHL team in itself, NHL mascot. But you know, the Black Panther allegedly is just a panther that has heavy doses of melanin, basically some type of genetic thing going on where they express lots of melanin, so they become black like that. But that's the first point. The panther itself is an American animal. They also, one of the points that they try to make, and I hear a lot of people say, that Wakanda, the place where Prince T'Challa is from, Wakanda, in the Marvel series, they say it's a fictional place, right? Because there is no place in Africa known as Wakanda. But the thing is that I haven't heard anybody else say is that there is a place in America called Wakanda. Believe it or not, Wakanda Park Mounds. And it's interesting for those of you that have, you know, follow me, watch uh some of my content, then you know I'm often talking about the Indian mounds here because I am an Aboriginal American. And the Indian mounds are some of the oldest pyramids on Earth, period. And they were made by the Aboriginal Americans, which a lot of people don't want you to know is what we call Black Americans. A lot of us, some of us, I guess, might be able to trace some lineage to other places, Central America, South America, even Africa. And if you can, kudos to you, for being able to do that. Me, myself, am a full-blood Aboriginal American. So when we get to talking about these ceremonial mounds, we directly talking about my ancestors, my lineage. So we can see we got Wakanda Park Mounds. Wakanda Park Mounds, the upper Wakanda group, they have in quotations right here. It's the National Register of Historic Places located in Wakanda Park in Menominee on the shores of Lake Menomin. This group is what's left of once large cluster of mounds that was submerged when Lake Menomin was created by damming Red Cedar River. Okay? So this is in Wisconsin. Wakanda Mounds. And you can see that they pretty much purposefully got rid of it because they said that they dammed up a river and that pretty much flooded these mounds. And for those of you that don't know, most of the mounds are either built they're always close to a river. That's what I say. They're always close to a river or a large body of water, because I visited over 10 mound, almost probably 20 different mound sites I've visited. And they're always near water. And there's usually railroad tracks very close to them as well. And I'm sure that has something to do with the colonialism. You know what I'm saying? The colonization. Everything was strategic. So what is this? The Great Mound is a mine located underneath Mount Bashinga that serves as the world's only known natural source of vibranium. Looks like this is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I didn't even have this planned for my video. But ain't that crazy? They said that the Great Mound, but look, they put it on the continent of Africa, that serves as the world's only natural source of vibranium. Did y'all know that? For people that's keep up with the Marvel Universe real heavy, can y'all tell me if y'all knew about the Great Mound, this fictional place that is the source of vibranium? Because that's crazy. They telling you right there. In Wakanda, as I just showed you, is a mound. It's a pyramid-like structure. This is a pyramid here in America, in Wisconsin. So little did I know that in the Marvel Universe, they say the Great Mound is the location where the vibranium comes from. The vibranium is what Black Panther's tribe was using. They had a supply of vibranium and they were using it. You see what I'm saying? Menominee, Wisconsin. Menominee, Wisconsin. That's where the Upper Wakanda Park Mound Group is. And for those of you that don't know, I just told y'all that these are my people's artifacts. These are my people's pyramids. They're only on the East Coast. I think Texas might be as far over as you find the mounds. And yeah, there's so many of them up and down the East Coast. They call it the SECC, the Southeastern Ceremonial Complex of Mounds. And they're all over, man. You know what I'm saying? But look at this right here. The A2 gene, Black American Mound Builder DNA. The A2 gene is associated with certain mitochondrial DNA haplogroups found in Native American populations, including those linked to ancient mound builders like the Hopewell culture. Research has shown that mitochondrial DNA from the Hopewell site in Ohio has connections to these ancient populations, indicating a genetic legacy among modern Black Americans and other descendants. Now, the reason you haven't heard about this is should be obvious because they really don't want us to make these connections. Then we're able to delineate, then we're able to, and even they, I don't think they mind as much that we're delineating from the immigrants that they've brought over to kind of like stir the pot and muddy the waters over here. I don't think they mind that as much, but they really don't want us to know about these mounds. This is what I found through my research, because then we would have claims to take in these lands. That's the type of reparations we should be asking for, is to gain back control of our cultural lands. You see what I'm saying? And that would include these mounds that most of them are national historic monuments. I think they pretty much all are, but some people, they're on some people's land. Some white farmers own these mounds and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the second thing, is Wakanda is a real place. So when people say that, man, it was a fictional place, it's based in Africa. No, the Africa, them throwing that in was a trick of the devil. This is just another one of them tricks to throw you off the trail. But Wakanda is a real place. It just happens to be in America. Just like the Panthers from America, Wakanda is from America. Okay? So moving on, let's see what I got on this next slide. You see what I'm saying? And we all know about the Black Panther Party from the civil rights. This is Black Americans movement. So the character itself is named after the Black Panther Party. You see what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966, right? Now, let's see when Black Panther, the movie, or the character, I mean, the comic book character, was derived in 1966, right? And it says, let me see. It says Black Panther was created by writer Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby, making his first appearance in Fantastic Four number 52 in July of 1966. The character was developed during a time when there was a notable absence of Black superheroes in American comics, particularly against the backdrop of the civil rights movement. So all I asked was origins of Black Panther Marvel, and they mentioned the civil rights movement in the absence of Black people, Black superheroes in American comics. So that's Black Americans. Once again, you see what I'm saying? And it was influenced by the backdrop of the civil rights movement, which I just showed you. The Black Panther Party was derived in 1966. You see what I'm saying? But they're going to tell you that it was from a fictional African nation, but an actual American location. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't be fooled. Now, part of the civil rights movement was to put us in the pickle that we are. It was some good things that happened from the civil rights, but it was also a boule play. It also was a Rockefeller play. Was that Rockefeller? Was that Baby Rockefeller? I think that was one of the Rockefellers. Yeah, that was sponsoring Martin Luther King. But within this movement that partially was beneficial, there also was birthed the African American misnomer. And they didn't get Martin Luther King to do it because Martin Luther King was repeatedly telling them that the black man was on his own land. The black men here were on their own land. So it took them, I should say, unaliving him. It took them unaliving him before they got Jesse Jackson to pick up the ball and then champion for us to be known as African Americans. You see what I'm saying? So they gave us something while also trying to lead us astray. They gave us this character based on our civil rights movement, some leaders in our civil rights movement, but then tried to curveball it and say that he's from Wakanda, which is a fictional place in Africa, when actually Wakanda is one of our ancestors' sacred pyramids that's in Wisconsin. You see? Um, so yeah, we got that. What else I got for y'all, man? That name T'Challa. T'Challa, okay. T'Challa, his dad's name was Shaka. Shaka, we all know the most famous Shaka is Shaka Khan. The most famous Shaka is Shaka Khan, which is an Aboriginal American. Y'all know who Shaka Khan is, you know what I'm saying? But they say Shaka has Hebrew origins, which is also speaking on us. Once again, we know who the real Hebrews are. Once again, you see what I'm saying? All the breadcrumbs are there, they're in place. So it has Hebrew origins, meaning life. It was also used in various contexts, including as a name and in different cultures, anyway, such as cheese in Afghanistan or whatever. But we know who the most famous Shaka is, and that's Shaka Khan. And that was T'Challa's dad's name. That was the previous Black Panther and the king of Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? So you got pretty much an American name, you should say. Because people might say Shaka Zulu, but Shaka Zulu ain't even spelled with a CH. It's spelled with a SH. So that in itself kind of negates that. You know what I'm saying? But to me, just looking at it, T'Challa and Shaka, T'Shaka sound like some American shit to me. You see what I'm saying? It says after the death of his father, Shaka, Chala ingests the heart-shaped herb, which grants him enhanced abilities, including superhuman strength, agility, and reflexes, right? The heart-shaped herb. Now, this is interesting because here's a heart-shaped herb. Now, if you look at this herb right here on the screen, and we would to turn that on its tip, on its point, it'll be a heart-shaped herb. But not just and y'all know I kept that on me, so I seen lots of. I used to get buds and I'd be like, damn, this look like a heart. I hold it in my hand, like this happens all the time, you know. So when I read that, I already was thinking the tree. I was already thinking about that good marijuana. You see what I'm saying? But even look at the leaf. The leaf. Let me get to a picture of the leaf. Because if you turn that leaf around, like this leaf right here, if you turn that upside down, that's going to also be a heart shape. That's a heart shape. You see what I'm saying? So you got this American animal that the black dude's named after. He comes from Wakanda, which is a mound in North America, which is a pyramid in North America, in Menominee, Wisconsin. Then he gets his superpower from a heart-shaped herb. You feel me? And his daddy name is Shaka. You see what I'm saying? Like, man, all the breadcrumbs is there. They not gonna just give it to you, though. You gonna have to follow the breadcrumbs if you really want to know the truth. But that's why y'all got me. You got putting shit together, cause man, you know I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna piece this shit together so that it makes sense to you. You see what I'm saying? And I think that might be everything I wanted to touch on. But all the clues is there, man. You know what I'm saying? And they wonder why. Or some people wonder why we mad that they casting these tethers as the Black Panther. Cause inherently we know that that's our character. We know that that's our superhero. You see what I'm saying? We know that he really represents us, but they didn't Africanized it. You see what I'm saying? And then they slap us in the face by letting these tethers play him. When it originally started off with Chadwick Boseman, who's not a tether. You see what I'm saying? But then he is unalived, or they say he passed away, or whatever the case may be, and then they started making this tether business. Michael B. Jordan was the what do you call it, the nemesis in the first one, and I don't think he's in there anymore. They got a lineup of tethers that they taking over our superhero with. You see what I'm saying? But that's just to shine some light on it. Why they getting a lot of pushback from the Aboriginal Americans, and a lot of us don't even know these facts that I just pointed out today. We just feel it. You see what I'm saying? We just feel it. But share this with somebody you know that feels this way, because it's gonna shed some light on it for us, and it's gonna confirm the intuition that they've had about this situation. This is an American character. This is a Black American superhero. You see what I'm saying? And it's just it's uh it's a misdirection that they trying to pull by making it seem like it's African, which is, a slap in the face. But for those of us that's wise enough to put this together, or just blessed enough to be sent this video or stumble upon this video, we know the truth. We know the truth now. But like I said, man, go ahead and hit that like, cut the notifications on, go ahead and sub to the page, man. Show your boy some love and support, because they want to keep me under wraps. You feel me? But we gonna really make some waves out here with the help of y'all. And when you hit that sub button, you now part of the League of Shadows, man. You now part of the League of Shadows. So let's go ahead. We only want the strongest though. So if you weak, if you suckery, we don't even hit the sub. Matter of fact, cause the money don't mean nothing to me, man. These likes and views, it don't mean that much to me. We only want the cream of the crop. You feel me? So yeah, man, as always, it's a pleasure having y'all tune in. It's peace and love, truth and light, wisdom and insight, DOA, putting shit together. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.